For this next study, we're actually going to be taking inspiration from the artist Eyvind Earle. And I know this might seem a little bit more advanced, but actually it's very simple, and I will help lead you through the process step by step. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is wet up the paper like we always do. And while that is sitting, why don't we start mixing our paint in our pan? I'm primarily going to just be using the blue pan up here with a really dark colored blue, as well as the regular blue right out of the pan. So we're just going to add that in. And we're just going to start adding the black to it. That is very black. So I'm going to add more blue. All right. I do like the color, even though on the screen it does appear to be very black. It's actually much bluer than it's showing up on screen. So I'm adding some water to it to really dilute it and make it more of a wash so it's not too pigmented. I'm gonna add a little bit more water just to be safe. We can always go darker if we need to, but you cannot go lighter. And for this, I'm just actually gonna start from the top left corner and pull it down to about here. And then I will pull it across. And then we're gonna do the same thing, but going opposite. We're gonna use regular blue here, kind of go up and then pull it across the opposite direction. And I need to work quickly at this moment in time because we don't want it to dry too much while we're doing this. We really want the colors to blend together. Now dry my brush a little bit and start pulling that lighter blue across here, going this direction. Okay, I'm really liking how this is starting to turn out. So the next thing I'm really gonna wanna do is grab a different paintbrush, and I'm using my number 2 flat brush, and I'm going to just kind of pull out my first cloud somewhere over here, and I kind of keep a straight bottom, straight horizontal line on the bottom. And we're just gonna kind of create a little hump at the top here to make it look like these fantasy looking clouds. And if it doesn't get all the way off, that's okay as well, because we can always go back with our white gouache and apply it directly to the surface of the painting. Now, as we go further down, the clouds are gonna become a little bit thinner and shorter because we want it to appear that it's going off into the distance, and we're kind of just doing a zigzag. Then one more here, we'll just kind of do that. And at the top here, I'm just gonna try to go straight across with a little line and then diagonal down to almost the corner. And we're trying to make almost this like parallelogram almost. At the bottom, you could kind of have it go diagonal up a little, but I'm feeling pretty good about this right here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, we can always go over this with gouache, a white gouache later. And then about right here, we're just gonna add one more line. I'm kind of scrubbing my paintbrush back and forth, and it's creating that natural line right there. Okay, we really have to focus on the angle of the first mountain, and that really is gonna direct everything else. It's pretty much pure black. Barely add any blue, even if you just add a touch of the wash blue to your black. This way it still does appear to have that blue color, but we really want it to be more on the darker value scale. How about this? We're gonna go down here, and this is pure black, even though you see the blue underneath that has dried. And I am going to add just a touch of this blue black up here. And this is where you just want to take it slow. Let's figure out where the line is going to start. And I really want to start with the line that is directly almost in the middle of the page. That's going to make it easier for me to figure out where everything is going to go. So that would be about here, and I'm going to want to end about here. Okay, so as best as you can, just make that line going up. And I realized I went a little too far, so we're just gonna work with that. And I'm gonna bring this line kind of going down. We're gonna jut it back up again. And then when we bring it down, we're gonna bring it all the way down to that rule of thirds line, if you can make that happen, to about there. I'm just gonna add a little hump here to make it look like there's some kind of like iceberg looking thing. And then I am going to work up again. And honestly, if you go too high with this line, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But what we are going to do next though is kind of start shaping the next mountain below it. And that's going to be about there. And it's kind of this diagonal line down going towards the right. If it looks something like this, it's fine and you're going to do great. We're going to be shaping the rest of the mountains just from this alone. Okay, from here, we need to kind of figure out where that line goes across and where it's going to end, which is right about here. If you cut through this cloud and you miss it completely, don't worry, we can always paint it back in later. So that may happen with mine. I'm going to go all the way to the end of the page and just do my best to try to meet this line here. These mountains are overlapping, meaning one is in front of the next one, is in front of the one behind it. So as you can see, the lines are going to kind of jut down like this a little bit. So we want to make sure we have enough room for this one to go down below it and for that one to go down below it as well. And I think we're going to be okay just looking at what we are seeing right at this moment. So what I'm going to try to do is go straight across for a little bit until about here. And I think that's a good place to end. Now, the next thing that we're going to want to do is mimic this line as if they're railroad tracks and they're parallel with each other and they're going in the same direction. Okay. Mine are kind of going towards each other a little bit. We're just going to keep it as is. I'm not measuring anything. We're doing this by eye, so do the best that you can, and we're going to fill it in the rest of it with this black, almost black color, a little bit of blue, and then we will not need that again. Maybe later I will want to make that look a little bit smoother, but for now, I think this is a really great start. So why don't we wash your brush, and we're gonna move on to the next mountain, and fortunately we already have that color made. And it's that original color that we made at the top here, that blue mixture with the black. If you would like to add a little bit more pigment, which I think I'm going to because it's very watered down, then please go ahead and do that. And I can go to about here. And I really don't want it too runny. We can always test it out on the paper. These go down, this line goes down, and then it juts back up again and goes down. This is mimicking this line. It's just a smaller version. And these lines really are a great way to lead the viewer around the page. And in turn, we're sort of getting that golden spiral effect in this piece as well. If you want to add one more, you can. I think that's pretty good. Okay, next step is we're going to want to bring this line down in a little bit to about there and come across just a little bit. And then we are going to try to figure out where the top of the next mountain is. And I think the best thing to do next is kind of just make that one up here right away. This way we know how to connect these two lines. How to connect these two lines together, which I already started, it looks like. So I'm just going to do that. And we'll fill it in. Looking good. I'm really liking it so far. let's clean our brush and work on the final one, which is this pure pigment blue right here. That one is super easy to do. I'm just gonna take some blue. I had some blue here that was pretty watered down. I think I'm just gonna add a little bit to that one because I'm starting to like the transparency that I'm seeing here as well. And if I can mimic that effect in the next one, I think it would look really nice. Okay, this one's gonna be the easiest one of the three to do. We've already had practice as well. So we're gonna start by bringing that angled line down here. But when you get to the top, we're gonna make it look more like a triangle. And try your best to keep your lines mimicking the same angle. And I know I didn't do the best job here, so I'm just gonna kind of create an in-between of those two angles and try to bring it down all the way horizontal at the bottom here. So if it comes across and doesn't meet like mine, just connect it right there. Now you can probably see that I didn't connect these two too closely, and I did that on purpose because I had a feeling that this one was still pretty wet and I didn't want them to touch if they were going to bleed together. So I went a little bit below, and then later on I can always add that back in if I need to. So there are some things that you can do from here. Like for instance, this mountain is not defined yet. And the way I'm going to define it is kind of working in the negative space. Like instead of carving around and trying to add white, what I'm going to do is actually add some blue to the sky up here. And fortunately, we still have that really washed out blue in the corner here that I was using earlier. So if I wanted to kind of carve this mountain out, I'm going to kind of wet the surface where I want that water to go, but not so wet where it's creating a puddle, like a pool of water. So I wet my paintbrush and then I just wipe the paintbrush off the side. And here's where I'm going to start curving or cutting into that sky, where I will add more blue in later. It's kind of going diagonal down, and it's hard to see because it's just water. And I'm just going to paint in where I think that sky could be a little bit bluer, and then I can add that in. And I know it's going to stay in the spot that I added the water underneath. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about that. It's really taking shape. Because this one is so blue, we're starting to bring that color back in up here as well. It doesn't make sense here yet though. So let me make sure that this is dry before I start working on that. And I can start adding some more blue into this area as well, doing the same thing I just did by wetting my paintbrush, getting the excess water off my brush, kind of laying in an area where the blue is going to go. And this way I can kind of shape the clouds a little bit better as well. All right, I'm taking a little bit of that blue wash I created and just bringing it right in. This bottom part is pretty empty at the moment. And the original piece that he created, he had these little animals, almost like cows or something below. I cut that step out for us, and we are just gonna be focusing on the shadows alone to keep this very simple. And I'm gonna just start here at the bottom and bring a long, kind of like a shadow kind of coming across. Just even a little bit further than that bottom mountain. It kind of anchors the piece a little bit. And then we are going to just do this one and bring a shadow straight across from the bottom of this one, all the way to the end of the page. Now it's so similar to the mountain, so I am going to pull some of that up so it looks more like a shadow. And then I will do the same thing for the blue one below it. Last but not least, we have a couple areas here that we can add some shadows in. And what I'm going to try to do is get to the bottom of this one, maybe even just kind of pull it in here. And then one more, I'm just going to add right in front here. So I'm going to grab some white paint, just pure pigment. I am not going to water this down at all, but I am going to coat my paintbrush on both sides like this. It makes the application of your paint to the paper much more even. So any area that is like a little bit too dark for me, I'm just gonna paint those in alone. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. And I will do the same thing below here. Just find places where I feel like it needs it. It's not gonna be everywhere. And I really like the way it is. So I think we can stop on this one. All right, that's it for that one. So I will see you in the next one.